The argument that I get a lot of times when I'm talking about how men and women need to, normalize everybody having more than one husband, more than one wife, more than one boyfriend. The argument that men give, the very inauthentic compassion they try to give women to justify their misogyny and their weakness and their insecurity is, well, women out in there's so many more women than men in the world. That must mean the Lord says that we need to have a plethora. You just need to have one. Bullshit. Okay. Let's do a comment to that. And I always believed that to be the truth until I actually looked it up, and it appears that that's not correct. It appears, and I put it right here on the screen, that men actually outnumber women globally. Of course, you can take it country by country, city by city, but in the world, men have always spoken about that as if it's a world stat. That in the world, they don't say in the state of Mississippi, in the country of China, they don't do all of that. We're talking about globally, there are actually more men than women. So where is this argument coming from then? That women just need to only be the only one sharing their man, and men don't need to do any sharing because of the numbers and the ratio. So that doesn't make any sense. But to give further context on why I'm talking about this, I made a video that I was making fun of these thoughtful men. They, for them to say, it's just the kindness of our heart, that men, share the wives. That men have many wives. So we just want to be sure every woman has a husband. It's just about our heart and how much we love y'all. Nothing to do with our inconsideration and our misogyny and our sexism and us being weak and insecure and coming up with shit that works for us and not for y'all. It's all about y'all. That's what it's all about. And I say, well, if every woman has more than one husband, then the problem is still solved. Every woman still got a husband. Well, that's not what we mean. That's not what yeah, bitch. So I made that video, right? And then the man talks about the stats of that's the only rebuttal I see in my thing. But they completely missed the point. They missed the point because what I'm saying is, if I'm a wife to him, and he's a husband to her, there's no lack. It's a community. That's what I'm saying. So the ratio doesn't even matter. But the ratio was off. I didn't know. So I wonder, what does this do now to the men to the men who watch my content, who claim that what I'm talking about is just impossible because of the ratio is so many more women than men. So women just need to just share, and men don't need to share. There's nothing wrong with sharing, man, but we ain't gonna be the only one doing the goddamn sharing. That's my problem. I never have an issue with any of it. I'm just not gonna be the only one sharing in this motherfucker. You're gonna share too, bitch. You're going to share too. It's like my man did in my book, All Three in Me. Go to Amazon, Kindle, wherever you buy books, my site, All Three in Me. Go there, get the book. My mom had 3 boyfriends at one time who all knew about each other. Excellent read, life-changing read. You got to read it. So I'm not going to be the only one sharing. So I wonder now that we see, and then so now your argument could be, well, we're not talking about the world, we're talking about the U.S. I don't want to hear about country to city. We're talking about the general notion that there are more women on Earth than men. Because y'all don't normally separate it into categories of state to state. Because that really could be different state to state. It could be. I'm not arguing that. Maybe country to country. But this is my thing. What legitimate argument, since that is a lot of y'all's foundation, do you have now? There is no argument you can give me, but I'm going to see how the goalpost is going to move. So with your logic, because the world has so many more women, we just need to get accustomed to sharing. Well, I flip that. Because the world has more more men than women, y'all need to be the one sharing. I have so many more reasons why men need to be the one sharing. I don't even know if I feel like getting into it in this video. But hell, why not? I'm here. The world population supports men need to be the one sharing because there's not enough women to go around. Isn't that what y'all told me? Y'all said that. It's not enough women to go around, so we need to share. Well, the stats say it's not enough men to go around. Now, granted, it's damn near 50-50. I think it's like 49 to 50, 49.5 and 50.5. It's very close. But y'all didn't care. Y'all would not have cared about that point if it was in your favor. So therefore, I'm going to stick with my point. Since we men outnumber women, y'all need to get accustomed to sharing. And because of the kindness of our heart, we want you just to be all right with sharing me with all of the men that I want to be shared by. So now that we knock that out of the way, men cannot out-orgasm and out-sex a woman. So the norm of men who have to rest and do meth and crack and smack and all this other kind of shit in order to get their dick back hard to ever fuck again. Why is it the norm that y'all get all of this women? Oh, because y'all have done a very good job of convincing women that we don't have a libido, that we don't have a sexual desire. Even though we're born with a clit that does nothing but orgasm, the patriarchy has gone above and beyond to make sure women believe that we are not that sexual, because you know that you can't really keep up. A woman in her sexual power kills, just completely obliterates the average man as far as sexual desire, libido, drive, orgasm counts. So if we typically can come over and over again and are very rarely satisfied and are faking orgasms because we're not usually fulfilled, what makes you think you have the sexual basis to have all of these women? You only can do that because women are not in their power sexually categorically. We do suppress and repress. And that's what makes you think you can do that. But it's not supported in science. It's not supported in biology. You don't have a clit. God, whoever created us, whoever that was, gave us a clit. And I thank them for that every day, because the way I put my clit through the ringer in the best way is great. So my whole thing is this. As far as population, it makes no logical sense for men to have more than one woman, because there's not enough women to go around. Sexually, it doesn't make any sense. Women are better multitaskers. We raise 15 kids, have a career, are good daughters and sisters and parents without cracking under the pressure. Men can't handle that. You can't even balance raising your kid and being a good and your career. That's why you neglect the damn kid all the time. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, we absolutely have the emotional capacity to do that, because we categorically have more friends than y'all do. We have the emotional capacity to manage multiple relationships because we have multiple kids and we bond with all of them. Y'all don't. Y'all neglect all y'all kids categorically. So we have that bond. We can multitask. We can raise all three of the kids while having a career, while being in school. We do it all the time. Men don't usually have that burden because y'all don't be fucking with raising your kids. Y'all get so tunnel vision in y'all career that you neglect everything around you. Your kids, your wife, your friends. Y'all are too tunnel vision in order to be good multitaskers. So we win in that regard. You know? We're much more emotionally intelligent than y'all. Juggling multiple people requires a high level of emotional intelligence that men categorically do not have. Y'all don't have the emotional capacity to do it. You want to know my main argument for that? It's because men categorically commit suicide more than women do. This means they don't manage their emotions well. We manage them better. We're better equipped to deal with emotional things and face them head on and be transparent and really do the inner work to become happy and balanced people than men do categorically. Because if that was the truth, then men would not commit suicide at the rates that they do. Y'all can't handle the pressure of life as good as we can. So when it comes down to having more than one boyfriend and if it gets tough, we'll be able to better manage it than y'all. This is just some of the reasons. So I'm okay with you having freedom, but you are not going to be able to tell me that I can't have mine. You have no biological reason. No, you have social reasons that were built by the patriarchy on why you need a gaggle and I need to just sit around and wait on you. Now, I haven't even given y'all love, but I just give you that to chew on. So after everything that you've heard, what the hell can you tell me to support your notion that you are the only one that deserves variety and men and women need to be monogamous to just you? You can't come up with anything concrete that I will not debunk immediately. We can handle many dicks because we can bear many children and push them out of our pussies. We can handle many dicks and bounce right back. If Catherine and Jackson can push out 10 kids, I can handle 10 dicks in a month or whatever it is, and it'll be just fine. So I don't know, what y'all even talking about there. Let me just leave y'all with this, and I really wish I could get this point out to millions of people, and I am, because I am a social media star. You do not know a person or people until they are free. Women will deny that they want another man because they're programmed to. Women are programmed to deny who they are, deny their sexuality, deny their need for other women. While you sitting there jonesing for your ex while you in the bed next to your husband, you deny that you want more than one man. Yes, you do. Yes, you do want it. You have just been more harshly punished for your desires. And the world has worked very hard to keep you from your desires, which is why you're programmed to say whatever the patriarch tells you to say without even knowing it. It's been so programmed. But let me just leave y'all with this. You cannot know a person or a group until they are free. So you don't know women until now. Now you're starting to get to know us. Women are choosing not to have children. Women are choosing to be single. Women are choosing to have more than one partner. Because they can now, because we're finally free. You cannot base what you think you know about women based on anything in our recent history in the Western culture. Because women had to go alone to get along. You already know. You think your grandmama was fucking happy with a whack-ass dick that your grandmama, your grandpappy was giving. She just She just did what she had to do. You know, a man was the livelihood. We know this, right? And if you want to argue with me, then I'll always use the analogy of racism. Whenever it's a time where black people, the consensus about black people were uneducated, not smart, not entrepreneurial. They stupid, and that's just what black people are. They don't have the capacity to think and do what white people are doing. They can't own businesses. They all that. My grandfather died thinking that white people were smarter than him, and he died in like 2018, thinking that white people were smarter than him. But my sister used to get annoyed with him, but I'm like, but that of course he thinks that. He was born in the fucking 40s. Even though he was a successful businessman and all of that, he still had the notion that white people were smart. And that's a lot of these women out here thinking that men are superior, thinking that they don't want more than one man. Of course you would think that. You're just like my grandfather. It's just been beat up on you. You haven't yet done the work to realize it's all bullshit. But let me get back to the analogy. The consensus was white people thought that black people were stupid, uneducated, can't read, are not capable of owning, not even interested in owning businesses and all of that. Then when black people got a little bit of freedom, we started outdoing them. Businesses, inventing shit, blah, blah, blah. Started doing that. Then they had to come shut it all down. Like, oh wait, y'all can think. Oh my God. What? They thinking? They strategizing? They making money? What? No, that's not who they are. They just couldn't believe that black people was acting like this. Acting like them. They had the same capacity as them. Couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. And now black people are exceeding. Without the oppression, you see that black people exceed them in pretty much every area. The same thing as women. Do you understand the very clear analogy? We now know that black people are smart, brilliant, educated, business-minded, all of that. But take me back a few centuries, they could even fathom a black person could even think like that. It's the same thing. You think women are these asexual, cool without touch, cool without dick, just need you bitches, and women fall for the okie doke too. But the freer we get, the more you get to know us. Women are highly sexual and want more than one man. The only thing that keeps them in place is the social norms, but that's cracking. So I end this video, use some critical thinking, challenge me on any of my points. Remember, I'm not saying men don't deserve freedom. Have your freedom. I don't believe monogamy is natural, but you are going to never win an argument in which you tell me that women don't deserve to have that same freedom too. Let me know what y'all think. Get my book. Peace.